Welcome back to Political Capital, the intersection of money and politics. Now, the last several years in South Africa have been characterized by a bloodbath in the economy and in the market as well. Well, hope is just around the corner and it weighs over a ton in bronze.
The finishing touches to the newest landmark in Africa's Golden Mile. It took 3 months to build from 40 pieces of bronze. It weighs 1.2 tons. It is 3.2 meters long. It has a look in its eye that says you owe money, says the artist. This is the bronze bull that will stand outside a Sandton restaurant on the doorstep of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, the largest bourse in Africa. It is the African interpretation of a stock exchange bull, a trader who buys stock in the belief it will go up. In turbulent times in the market, there couldn't be a better time for a bronze manifestation of hope.
There's an interesting backstory and a parallel to the bronze bull outside the New York Stock Exchange. It too was created by an artist. It took 2 years and 3 tons of bronze. It cost $350,000 to make. Now, it was dropped off outside the New York Stock Exchange one December morning. The idea of the artist was to capture the can-do spirit of the United States in the wake of the 1987 stock market crash. Now, this creation here is hoped to do the same thing in Africa.
Its African creator is a historian himself. 40-year-old Michael Canyaris, whose grandfather came to Africa from Spain, trained for years to be a professional cyclist. In 2007, he changed careers and took over a foundry in White River in Mpumalanga, the only foundry in the world in a shopping centre, he says, and taught himself to sculpt.
What I wanted to show with this sculpture is the strength and dynamic power of a bull. Not only in the anatomy, but also referring to the stock markets, you know, with a bull with the horns facing up, perfect depiction of a bull market. And the muscles, the textures on the muscles also showing it rough, and to also depict the unpredictability of the stock market. That was also one of my goals to show in the sculpture. I first made a little model to try and get the exact pose and textures accurate in the sculpture, and then from the model I enlarged those measurements by 3 to get to this size. So to sculpt in this size, I first made the form out of polyurethane, and then I use a very soft microcrystalline wax-based sculpting clay, which I then heat up and then take my hand and sort of just spread the clay over the sculpture. You know, I rarely use any tools. Most of the sculpting and the textures done on the sculpture is by hand. I also try to, you know, show in the eye a little bit of emotion and sort of the real feeling you'll get when you see a raging bull.
To the creator, the first selfie. Surely there will be millions more down the years in a part of Johannesburg thick with tourists. Under the feet of the bull, steel rods driven into a mixture of resin and sand. Surely more secure and permanent than most bull markets.
Well, to be honest with you, it's not really my thing, but I just had to be the second person to take a selfie with the new bull of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange here in Sandton. For me, Chris Bishop, for Political Capital, it's goodbye.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of Political Capital. We're back again on your screen next Tuesday, 6:30. Until then, keep it CNBC.